I was having one of those days. You ever have one of those days? Like you have days that everything's going wrong and everything's another days where everything's going right. This was one of those days where everything seemed to going right. I went to my first networking event in Charlotte. Actually, that's where I met Lori, amazing Lori, at an eWomen Network event. And I'd never been to local networking events, being in corporate, you didn't do those kind of things. And so I had gotten an invite. I'm like, I need to meet more business owners locally because most of my friends and connections here are more on the corporate side. So I'm like, need to get out. Most of my clients were international around the world. And I'm like, I need some people local that I can go have lunch with. And although, now that's even harder, but I was looking for those connections. And so I show up at this networking event and we had an amazing speaker. And at the end, she shared with us that there's about 60, 70 people in the room, and she had 35 bags that she was giving away. And they had some books in them and some gifts, and 3 of them had a star in them. And if you got the star, you were going to win a free mastermind with her. And it was a $3,000 value. And I was sitting next to this other lady and I looked at her and I said, I am winning this. And she's like, I'm winning too. And we were like the closest table to the table where they had the setup. And so we're both, as soon as we could, we jumped up out of our seats, we run over to the table, and I'm going like this over the table. Like, you can't even see me, but I'm like, feeling the energy, like which bag is gonna have the star in it. And the speaker was Suzanne Evans, and her significant other is Melanie. And Melanie is sitting behind the table, and she's like, there's a line behind you. Can you just pick a bag? And she's like, just take the first one. And I'm like, nope, it's not that one. It's this one. And I reached in and I grabbed the bag, and I went back to my seat and started looking through it, and I got the star. And I was so excited to go to this mastermind. And I got back to my office and I'm like on this high, and I get into my office and I get a call from what was a potential client at the time saying, I am ready to start with you. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm like, yes, another win, a new great client. Was so excited to work with her. And then I start going through my email, and in my email, I had a notification from an organization that I had really wanted to speak at. It was something that really touched my heart. And they said, we've selected you as our speaker. We want you to come speak. And it's just like all of these blessings were coming in. And it was one of those days I was freaking pumped up. Love those days, right? You're just like pumped. And I'm sitting there and I'm like starting to get chills, the angel bumps I was telling you guys about. And as I started listening, I realized it was raining outside. And I realized that my angel bumps felt like raindrops. And I started to anchor in this feeling of every blessing I had in my life coming down on me like a raindrop. And then I started to think about the things that I want in my life pouring down on me like raindrops. I'm going to lead you guys through this meditation so that you can take it with you and you can do this. I love to just wake up in the morning. Well, I'm still laying in bed. I know some people tell you to jump out of bed right away. I am not one of, I like to have my moment to prep my day. And it's not because I'm not trying to get up. It's like, I'm just trying to be in my space. And I'm not a huge meditator. Like I typically go through the guided meditations and things like that. And I've been learning over the years a little bit more about meditation, but this is something I do every morning. Sometimes it's 1 minute, sometimes it's 10 minutes, just depends on the day. But I get to make it what I want it to be. I get to decide what I want to do. And what it does is it sets me up for the day. And you'll see why, because we're going to go through this exercise and see why it's going to set you up for what you want to do, where you want to go, and how you want to get there, as well as anchoring in all of these things that have happened to you, all the blessings in your life, all your accomplishments that you have. So I want you all to just close your eyes right now. And I want you to think about just walking outside. And as you walk outside, you start to feel one raindrop on your cheek. And then you feel another raindrop on your arm. And then you feel another raindrop on your leg. And you feel one on your head. And then it starts to rain a little bit harder, and you start to feel more raindrops. And as you feel each one of those raindrops, I want you to think about something on that accomplishment list that you just went through. I want you to think about that coming down and touching you like a blessing in your life. And think about another blessing in your life coming down and touching you. And start going through that list of your accomplishments. And it's starting to rain harder, and they are just coming down on you. And all of those blessings in your life are touching you. Think about the blessings you have had in the last day, the last 24 hours. What are things you've been blessed with? In the last week, what are some of the blessings that you have had? Feel each one coming down on you like a little raindrop. What have you done in the last month? What blessing have you had in the last year? What blessings have you had in the last 5 years? In the last 10 years? In your life, what things have come and touched you that you are so grateful for, that you feel blessed by? Now I want you to think about things you want in your life. What blessings do you want to come into your life? What do you want to happen today that will be a blessing? What do you want to happen in the next week to come in as a blessing to touch your life? What do you want to achieve in the next month? What are some things you want to do in this next year that would be a true blessing, a true accomplishment, something that would just light you up, feel it coming down on you like rain? Think out even further. In the next 10 years, what are some things that you have had on your list that you were just like, I would love for this to happen. I would love to do this. I would love to go here. I would love to have this experience. Just take a minute to feel those blessings coming into your life. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes.